Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So this video is just kind of a continuation of the last one, and in my last one I explained how my rescue American Quarter Horse Dreamer passed away. And if you have not seen that video, please watch that video before you watch this one, because it just explained how everything happened and why it had to happen that way. So I just wanted to share that this wasn't the end of the journey for Dreamer or for me. And I don't just want to leave you guys with, oh yeah, so I got a rescue horse and then he passed away, because that sounds really sad, but I really wanted to just explain some of my thoughts and my feelings on it and kind of what I've been through since he passed away. So let's jump right in. So I had Dreamer for about 5 months, I believe, which does not sound like a very long amount of time, but when you're with somebody every day for hours and hours every day, when you're helping them to grow stronger, he was very weak when I got him, and you just pour your heart and soul into somebody, it really doesn't take that long to get close to them, and we did so much in those 5 months, and I would not trade them for the world. So of course, there were so many people that were a part of my journey with Dreamer. I think I didn't really explain everything that had happened, but he had come from a kill pen, and then somebody had rescued him, and then she had let her friend take care of him because she had to move to another state and could not bring him with her. So this friend, which she really didn't know that well, it's more like an acquaintance, promised to use him, promised to take care of him. She sent money to take care of him for vet bills and stuff, but he was not taken care of. He was very neglected. And then the friend was going, well, the lady that actually owned the horse was going to ask the friend if she was still using him, which is Dreamer. His original name was Elmer. And was going to give him to me to be my new horse. However, he was not being treated nicely, and he was being neglected, and so when we got him, he was very down. There's no such thing as a free horse. Horses cost a lot of money, especially horses that are underweight and have been neglected and are come from a rescue situation. So my mom and I, she really helped me so much, and my dad helped me, and we poured our heart into this horse, and I just think, it's a very sad ending for him to pass away. But I just wanted to explain that it's not really the end. And to just share some stuff that had happened and how I felt after he passed away. So as I said, there were so many people who were a part of this journey. There were people who just looked at him and just supported me and encouraged me. There were people who donated money to help with him. There were, of course, the lady that gave him to me. There was our vet involved. There was just everybody who impacted. We have a friend who looked at his feet when they got bad and told us how we could treat it, and just everybody who helped in some way contributed to this journey, and I felt that I needed to explain to them what had happened, and that was a really hard thing to do. He had passed away on my birthday, and so it was just kind of like, do we still have the birthday get together? Do we not? And I was just kind of numb from it all, and I didn't know what to do, I just didn't know what to do. So, I think I forgot to mention in the last video that we do think that Delilah had kicked him and he broke his leg, but that is just what we think, and really it doesn't matter how it happened. it was an accident, and he's gone. So I just wanted to read you guys some of the things I was thinking after he had passed away. I wanted to tell people that day kind of what had happened. I'm a person that when bad things happen, I'm a sharer. I like to share what happened. Talking helps me realize it, because when things happen, sometimes you're just in shock, so sharing is a way that helps me to just realize what happens and realize how I can get through it. So I of course told all the people thank you, and that I would not trade the months that I got to have with him for anything except for him to live. I know he was happy, and I am so glad he got to come here and live a spoiled horse life, even if it wasn't for long. He looked so good. He had really gained weight, his hair and skin was better, and he is really showing his personality. He got to run under saddle, play in the pasture, have horsey friends, sleep in a warm stall, and be loved. Of course, after the accident, I really was just kind of lost. When you spend so much of your time with someone, you wake up in the morning expecting them to be there, and then they're not. And that was really hard because I didn't want to go to the barn anymore. Dreamer really gave me a reason to get up in the morning. He just made me, I'd be laying in bed, oh, I don't know if I want to do today again. And I was like, oh, I gotta go take care of my horse. Bye. And I was out of there. But then I would wake up and be like, oh my goodness, I need to go take care of Dreamer. And then I'd remember he wasn't there. And it's really hard, and you have to give yourself grace the first couple weeks and months even, because you don't feel normal. A part of you is missing. When you spend so much time with someone, they're not really gone when they're gone. So when there's such a part of you and you spend so much time when they're gone, they're not really gone. They're still a part of you, and Dreamer is still a part of my journey. He made me a better horse person. He'll always be a part of my journey. Just because he passed away doesn't mean I don't love him anymore. Just because he passed away doesn't mean I just want to forget about him. Doesn't mean, oh, he wasn't a part of my journey, he wasn't my heart horse. It doesn't mean any of those things. He was still an amazing part of my journey. Even if it was just for 5 months, they were some of the best months of my life. And I never want to forget him. And I love him. I still have pictures of him hanging in my room. I think a lot of people, when they grieve, sometimes they put everything away. And maybe that's okay for some people. But for me, I want to remember him. I don't want to focus on all the bad things. Because as I said earlier when I was, telling people about what happened, I wouldn't trade the months that I got with him for anything except for him to live. And it really was amazing. One thing is that I don't really feel like people who don't have horses, you don't really understand. The closest thing that I can compare it to is losing your best friend, because literally that's what happened. I would say that Chief and Dream both are my best friends. This sounds awful, but I don't think I could have done it if I'd lost Chief, because I just had Chief for so long, and it would have just broke me. Losing Dreamer did break me, but because I still had Chief, I was able to get through it. And but I don't know if it had been the other way around. I would have still had Dreamer, but riding Chief and just sometimes just not thinking about it is the best thing. And also Chief lost his best friend too, so it was kind of like us grieving together. And this also really hurt my mom, because she had helped me so much with this horse, and she had just been there every day for me. She'd been through the ups and downs, because we seem to always remember the good times and kind of forget about the things, but no, there was a lot of downs. on Dreamer's journey. I would get so frustrated when I would try to pick up his feet and he would kick and whatever. And I would get frustrated when every time I'd start riding him, something would happen and I couldn't ride him anymore. He got ulcers and I wasn't able to ride him for a while. But I wouldn't trade the time we spent for anything. And that's my biggest thing, it wasn't about riding him. It was just about being with him. And going through ups and downs together just made our relationship that much stronger. Also, I truly believe that Dreamer would have died at the place he came from if I hadn't got him, but he would have died a sad death where nobody loved him and he didn't have anything to live for there. Here he died happy and healthy, and there he would have starved. And he had somebody that loved him and cared about him. So I believe he was more at peace. And I believe I did everything I possibly could to take the best care of him that I could. So the first couple of days, of course, he was just such a part of my life that I didn't know what to do. When I looked around my room, there was his hoof medicines and his supplements, pictures of him, his barrel boots, my binder with all my goals I had for us to accomplish. When I go to the barn, there was his empty stall, his hot pink bridle that we got him for Christmas, and his ulcer medicine, his feed mixed up, ready to give it to him, his hoof stand and pick ready for me to do his feet, everything ready for me to work him. And it was just like everywhere I looked, was a reminder of him and how he wasn't there anymore. My schedule was even so full of him. I just didn't know what to do. I was supposed to try the saddle on him to see if he was better from the ulcers. And then I was supposed to go to a barrel racing practice and see if I wanted to take him to it. And then I was supposed to take him to it the next day. And then I was supposed to take him here. And then we were supposed to go to this barrel race. And there's just so much that I was going to do with him that we didn't get to do, and there was so much left undone. But you can't focus on all the things that you didn't get to do. You have to focus on all the things that we did. And another thing was I wanted to move on, but I didn't know how. I still wanted to barrel race. I still wanted to do stuff, but I just didn't know how to move on. So we started looking for a new horse kind of immediately. That was kind of a distraction for me. I could look for a new horse and that I could still move on, that this wasn't a setback. He was just a part of my journey. And that's really important, I think, when when something bad happens, like, don't just give up just because. There's a part of owning horses is being willing to take the good with the bad. And unfortunately, this was bad. It didn't end the way I thought it would. I really thought I would have years and years and years with this horse, but that just wasn't the way it went. And you take the good with the bad. You never know what's going to happen, but you have to be willing to take that risk. I had no idea that he would have broken his leg. If I had to guess, I would have thought that maybe the wheezing or something he might have passed away from, but you never know how it's going to go. And there's so much good that the good definitely outweighs all the bad of having horses. And Dreamer was definitely overall a benefit to my life. And if I had the choice to do it all again, I would do it all again in a heartbeat, because every day with him was wonderful. As I said, there were ups and downs, but just having him here, he just followed me around. He kept his eye on me. We were just meant for each other. When you have that one horse that loves you and you love them, and no matter what happens. And that's still the way I feel. And I think that's mostly why not horse people don't understand, because they don't understand that bond, It's different. I've lost a dog before. I've lost people in my life before. But when you lose somebody that you spend every single day with, you don't go a day without thinking about them. You don't go a day without seeing them. You spend all your free time with them. It literally is heartbreaking. And it's just like losing your best friend is like the only thing I can compare it to. And I know that people who have lost a horse out there will understand that. But I just hope that everybody is willing to move on. And the title of this is this the end? And no, it's not the end of Dreamer's journey. Dreamer's journey was so much more than just him. It was how he affected me, He gave Chief a best friend. He gave me a best friend. He taught me to be more confident. He taught me how to deal with problems and setbacks, because he had ulcers and hoof issues and all this stuff. He taught me how to take care of, a horse that's been underweight or been down on weight. And he was my first new horse. He was my first quarter horse, my first non-gaited horse, my first rescue horse. And I don't think he'll be the last. He encouraged me, and he truly did make me a better person. And I still believe he was just a gift from God. And, no matter how it ended, the journey was more important than the destination. Dreamer's chapter may be ended, but the story goes on in the way that he affected me and the way that he affected everybody around him. I did want to share a couple of things that people got me that was very special. I believe if you lose a person, an animal, best friend, anything, it's really nice to have things that you remember them by, and that when you're sad, give you comfort. And so many people, when they found out that I lost my horse, weren't just like, oh, I'm sorry. They were, they reached out and they had things that, helped me get through it. So my mom had printed this beautiful canvas picture of him before he had passed away. And I still had his name plaque and when I had him in the barn. This lovely little box that has a horse on it, and it just has some encouraging words on the inside. A blanket with a picture of Dreamer printed on it. And one of my favorites is I took his hair and we had a lady make a bracelet and like a little necklace bead and just really cool stuff out of it to remember him by. So I can always have him with me, and just have him with me to remember when I go to a barrel race. I can wear that bracelet or that necklace or something like that. And those are really sweet to me. And it's really nice to have those. One of the last things that I said to Dreamer was, because I didn't really want to say goodbye, goodbyes are so sad, but I've heard people say, goodbyes are just hellos, we've had an amazing journey together and you'll always be a part of me. So really this is more just like a hello, and I don't know, I definitely know that people go to heaven, and I definitely know that I am, because I believe in Jesus. But I don't know about animals, but I personally believe that when they're so special and they impact you so much, I believe there has to be a special place for them. And, I would like to believe that I'll see Dreamer again, that this wasn't the end of him and me, but that, as I said, it's only the beginning. So I just said, goodbye, but, goodbyes are just hellos, boy, and I love you. I kept telling him that because I wanted him to know that. People are always like, oh, that's great, you're strong for letting him go. And I'm like, I didn't let him go. I had to, I didn't really have a choice. But as I said, if I had to do it all again, I would do it if I had the choice, because the good always outweighed the bad. And that's just my take on my horse journey with Dreamer. And I'm still going to reference him in the videos. He was still a part of this so much. And I still love him so much. And I hope that even though this ended sad, for all of you guys who did follow along with our journey and who did watch the videos and who did support our journey, I just want to say thank you. And I hope that this sad ending doesn't discourage you from doing that, because it really should encourage you that, he had a great 5 months, and, the journey isn't over. The chapter is just ending. So thank you guys for everybody who did watch this and for all the support. I really appreciate it, and I have lots of new videos coming soon to explain what I'm doing afterwards. After him passing away, it has been quite a while now, 3 months I believe, since I am making this video. So that is the take on the beginning or the end or the middle of the journey, because we all know that it's really not over.